Modern life operates on a singular, exhausting directive: control every variable. We maintain a white-knuckled grip on our daily outcomes, reacting to every wave of uncertainty as if our sheer willpower is the only thing keeping the ship upright. This constant state of high-alert anxiety is the logical result of a cultural promise that total command is possible. We are told that if we plan enough, work enough, and worry enough, we can force reality to mirror our expectations. At the center of this struggle sit two words that carry a massive psychological weight: I and mine. We view our careers, our families, and our successes as personal possessions that require constant manual maintenance to survive. This creates a mental architecture where we see ourselves as the sole provider and the primary architect of the world. We live as though the sky would literally collapse the moment we stop holding it up. The fear of failure is a byproduct of this perceived ownership. When we believe we own the outcome, any deviation from our plan feels like a personal collapse rather than a natural shift in circumstances. Ancient Eastern philosophy offers a different perspective on this exhaustion. In the 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, the friction of the ego is met with a strategy that predates modern productivity culture by thousands of years. In a Western context, surrender is often synonymous with defeat or the loss of a battle. It implies a state of weakness where one has simply run out of options. These texts describe surrender as a functional realization. It is the recognition that the individual is a vessel for energy rather than the origin of it. Liberation occurs when the effort to fight the natural current of reality stops, allowing the momentum of the universe to dictate the pace. We treat this world as a permanent territory, to be conquered and to be hoarded. We build structures and accumulate wealth, assuming it's our final destination. The Gita frames the mortal realm as a temporary academy structured for the evolution of human consciousness. Consider a student sent abroad for a semester, fully aware they will eventually return home. Viewed through this lens, the cyclical arrival of happiness and sadness looks less like rewards and punishments and more like a required curriculum. They are the seasonal shifts necessary for growth. Resistance to these shifts creates the sensation of suffering. By acknowledging that the current moment is a lesson to be observed rather than a state to be controlled, the internal friction begins to quiet. Imagine the behavior of a person checking into a high-end luxury hotel. They walk into a space they did not build, using amenities they do not own. A rational guest enjoys the view and the comfort without the stress of maintenance. When it is time to check out, there is no sense of loss or theft because the temporary nature of the stay was understood from the first minute. Applying this logic to human existence changes the internal dialogue. Navigating life as a guest means experiencing the world without the burden of claiming it. This shift removes the impulse to complain about what is missing. The focus moves away from scarcity and toward the immediate details of the experience. Adopting this mentality places the individual in alignment with the world as it actually is, rather than how the ego demands it should be. Much of our life is spent expending energy to maintain the ego's defenses. When that effort stops, it creates an energetic vacuum. The universe fills this absence of resistance with new momentum. This supportive flow is often called grace. Grace represents the transition from a life of high-friction struggle to one where events seem to coordinate on their own. It is the natural efficiency of a system no longer being fought by its inhabitants. This state is accessed through a specific set of behaviors: humility, the intention to cause no harm, and serving others without an expected return. These actions lower the noise of the individual ego. When the drive for personal gain is removed, the individual begins to reflect the broader intelligence of the system. The result is a state of peace that exists independently of external market conditions or personal hustle. Surrender is the process of detaching from the outcome while remaining fully engaged in the action. You pursue the goal, but you stop tying your identity to the result. The heavy armor of ownership is replaced by the practice of gratitude. Instead of feeling responsible for the existence of your wealth or family, you observe them as temporary gifts you've been chosen to experience. This leads to a practical realization. If absolutely nothing belongs to you, there is no longer anything to lose. The removal of loss of a possibility causes the anxiety of the past and the fear of the future to lose their grip. When you stop fighting the current and let go of the oars, the universe has its own direction. You allow it to carry you.